L2 is equal to L1, all the values of L1 will be copied to the L2 and we will be able to create a copy over here. But over here, when we are working with the list, this does not happen. In that case, this is called as pass by reference. So what we are doing is, in this case, both the L1 as well as L2, they are pointing to the same memory location. That means it is like when we are sharing, right? So either you create the two photocopies of that, or you use the one copy and both of the persons are sharing that copy, right? So when we create the two photocopies and each one is having its own copy, so in that case, like if I have my own copy, if I mark something, write some notes within that particular photocopy, these notes will not be visible to any other person. But if that copy is shared, like usually what we are doing, in the, we can share a file in the drive. So if we want to you can say work together, so in collaboration, so what do? We create one copy and share in the drive, and that means if I will make certain changes, they will be seen by everyone else. If you write something, I'll be able to see. If you delete something, I'll be able to see that, because we are referring to the same copy. So the same is the case when we are saying that they are pointing to the same memory location. So any changes made by any one of these will be seen by the other. So that is what is being shown. Like if in L2 0, we make a change that which in the index position we update the with the value 50 and then print 1, so we will get the output. So will now be 15 in both the list L1. That means we can say this is not a true copy of that. For what do? We have three methods. One is by using a list. So list L2 is equal to list. List is a keyword we are using. So this is a function we are calling in order to create a copy of L1. So now L1 and L2 both will be two different copies. Since why it is? So it is giving an error. So it is testing there itself, because it was not there. So it is giving us the error that this number is not there in the list. So let us say if I want to know what is the where this element is available. So it is this element is available at the 5th position in the list. So it returns the index to where we can find out that particular value in the list. Then we have append. Append is used to append the data. If you want to add more data in the list, append function is always adds the data at the end of the list, right? So here we are just adding one element or two elements, you can say, right? So 89 on 100, it is going to be appended at the end of the list, right? So now you can, when we are using in the you can in the dictionary meaning also, append means addition at the end, addition. So here also we are concatenating the list. Some data is being appended at the end of this particular list. Let us say if I do this, right? So this will be appended at the end of this particular list. Then we have extend. So this extend is used to you can say join the two lists, right? So we want to join the two lists in any order. So but they are not, see this function, this extends function, this does not return anything. So what it will do, let us say we have two lists L1 and L2. So when we are writing L1 dot, so then all the data of L2 will be up of this list, right? So here you can say two lists are combined together. Am I right? Let's say I write it L2, L1 and print L2. So we can see that if the list is appended at the end. Okay, because it was already appended, so it is doing, let me do it, let me print this here. No, it won't do, it will do like this only. So earlier, see, it was the original list, then we created this list, right? So now since L2 is having, then see, this was like when we are doing the append is also adding the data at the end, and extend function is also doing the similar kind of task. Only thing is here, rather than see in the append we are adding the individual elements, but in case of extend we are applying it to the list only. So extend function can be applied only to the list only for the extending of list. What if I want to insert some data within the list only at some position? I want to specify that I want to insert some value at 4th position or 5th position. So for doing similar this kind of task, we have an insert function. So here this is the list L1 dot insert. What I'm doing, I want to replace the value at 1st position with 22 in place of 20. So what I'm doing is, so here you can see now 22 is being replaced with 22. So similarly I can do this with 400, anything you can do, right? So here you can see I have 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4th. So we will start the index position we are specifying. Here 4 is the index position. So otherwise we say it is the 5th position. For the 5th position, index value is 4. Now we have other functions like pop. So we have another function pop that is used to remove an element. So whenever this pop function is removing an element, it will also return it to us. So we can store that value as well, right? So like in the stacks, when we are working with the stacks, there we use the push and pop functions. So here it is behaving like that. It will remove that value, right? So it will remove the last element from the list if we have not specified anything over here. If we specify some value we want to remove, you can say if you want to remove a particular element, just specify it as a parameter to the pop function. If you don't do it, it will remove the last. So let us say, see we are using the same L1 over here. Since it is available, I am just writing L1.pop. So it is removing the 5th one, right? 56 value it has removed. Now let us say if I remove the I am passing the element position. So I want to remove the 0th position value, right? So it has removed 17 from L1. Now if we print this, let us see what all values are left. 17 was removed, 56 was removed, and we are left with 20, 13, 12, 100 and 20. So we are left with only these values. So here you can see this is how the pop function works. Then remove. So pop is also removing the data, remove is also removing the data. So the remove function basically does not return anything, but the pop function returns the value that it has deleted. It will let you know what it has deleted, but similar is not the case with the remove. It will just remove. You will have to print the you can say print the list, and then only you will be able to know what element has been removed from the list. So here you can say in the pop we were passing the index position, in the remove we are passing the element, the name of the element. So L1 is equal to this, then L1 dot remove 20, and we are printing L1. So here you can, let us say if we change it to 34, we remove it. Oh, 34 is being removed from here. Then clear function. If you want to remove all the elements from the list and your list becomes empty, right? So you can use the clear function in order to delete all elements from the list. So here it is L1.clear, right? So here you can see L1 is the name of the list. Name of the list dot, you are calling all the various functions that we have discussed for the various kinds of tasks. Then we have another function called as del. Del removes all the elements, but along, see here when we are working with the clear, it will remove only the elements from the list. It is not going to delete the complete structure. L1 will still exist, but there will be no elements in that particular list. But when we are using the del, so in that case, if we use the, you can say we want to completely delete the table, from the list, delete, it will not show us any error. Right, so that means it exists. Then we have a count. It returns of the count of all the elements passed as the arguments. That means you can, if you want to find out the frequency of various elements in the list. So that means, let us say you have various numbers and you want to see how many times 17 occurs, how many times 20 occurs, how many times 12 occurs in this particular list. For that, you can just pass on the name of the element. You can find out what is the frequency of that element in the list. So L1 dot count, you specify the name of that, and let us say if it is 34, right? It occurs 4 times. Let us say it is 12. It occurs only 1 time. So it is telling us the frequency of the various elements which are there in this particular list. Then if you want to just reverse the list, so the way it is available, like this is the original list and you just want the reverse of this list, you just have to call the reverse function L1 dot reverse and just print it. So you will be able to get the reverse of this particular list. Then we have sort function, which can be used to sort the data in the list in the ascending order or in the descending order. So we are just calling L1 dot sort. So it will print. See, by default, the sort function is going to sort all the data in the ascending order, that is increasing order, right? If you want to put them in the descending order, so you just have to pass one parameter, that is reverse is equal to true. By doing this, you will be able to sort the data in the descending order. Okay, then we have more functions which we can use to work with, like we have the min function, the max function, the sum function. So these functions can be used to find out the maximum value, minimum value, and the sum of all values in the list. So I want to know what is the maximum value in this particular list, or what is the minimum value in this particular list, and or what is the sum of all the elements of this particular list. So here we just pass on these functions min, max, and sum. So you just have to see there are certain functions which we are calling with the help of a dot operator along with the list. There are certain functions where we are just passing the name of the list as a parameter. So you just have to learn how to use these functions when you're working with. Right, so here 12 is the minimum value, 56 is the maximum, and 357 is the you can say the sum of all these numbers. So let us say if I change it to 98, minimum value is, let us say 0, right? And now let us say again see. So 0 is the minimum value, 98 is the maximum value, and 387 is the sum. Okay, so this is how we use all these functions. Now, if since we have seen that when we are working with the variables, we can take the input from the users. Now, since we are working on a collection where we have a list of numbers, right, and we want to take the input from the user. So for taking the input from the user, we have different methods. So the first method for taking the list input from the user is list. Right, so when we write, see, when we were taking the what we are doing the typecasting. Whatever input is coming, we are converting that in the form of a list. So when we are taking the input, we can convert it into the int, string, or you can say the float. We were doing that particular task. So here we want to convert the given input in the form of a list, so we just use the list type over here. Right, so let us say I write 1 2 3 4 5. So can anybody tell me what is the drawback of this method? What is the limitation of this method? Anyone? Just by looking at it, this example, what is the limitation of this example? Can anybody tell me? Yes, please. You can unmute and tell what can be the drawback of this method. Yes, please. Mohammed, what do you want to say by this interrogation? You can unmute and tell me. Yes, 2-digit numbers, right? So like if, let us say, it is considering every digit as a single digit, but I want to say that I had entered the 12 or 23 or 34 or 45, all these numbers. So these are not recognized using this particular method. So we have another method that is called as eval input. So we what we have to do, only thing you have to remember is when we are using the eval, so in place of list we are just writing eval. So only thing that is required here is an extra effort, that you have to give the input in the form of a list within the square brackets only. So what do we do? So here we start with the square brackets. We say, let us say a comma 23 comma 56 comma enter. Right? So this method can be used to store any kind of data, whether you want any mixed data that we can see. If we can store this mixed data, you can store any kind of data that you want. Okay, so that's all with all these functions which are a part of the list. So you have one exercise to do. So you write a program to input the list of alphabets from the user, and then create two lists to store the consonants as well as the vowels. So you have 2-3 minutes to complete this task. Do it right now. Okay, I'll just write a program. Here it is. Write a program to input the list of alphabets from the user, and then create two lists. Ask you to share your screen. Is it done? Anyone who has done it? Anyone who has done it? Amit Mittal? Amit Mittal? Amit Mittal? Kishan Pandey? Kishan Pandey? Kishan Pandey? Surabhi Madan?
Ma'am, I'm trying. I mean,
Okay. Okay, fine, fine. That's fine.
not done yet.
Yeah, sure. Is it difficult?
Kind of, I think it will take some logic.
Yeah, it will require some time. You have to navigate through the list, then you have to test using you have to use the if condition. Just you just check the vowels and rest of the elements. Yeah, a e o u.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I was
Yeah,
trying.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, never mind, because you have learned the few things just now only for adding the elements in the list. So you can try it out later on. So let's proceed for talking about dictionary. So we whatever collections we have seen till now, they are indexed by an integer, that is 0, 1, 2, 3. So all the integers, like forward indexing when we say, so all the elements then we are accessing from the list, they are the integer values, or they are the, you can say, integer values. They may be the positive values in terms of the forward indexing, or they are the negative values when we are talking discussing about the negative index or backward indexing, basically. -1, -2, -3. So basically, dictionary is basically a different kind of collections, and that is based on the mapping, right? So they are defined using the key value pairs. The data, all the data is stored in the form of key values. Like we have a dictionary, we talk in the real time, right? We have a phone dictionary, right? What is there in the phone dictionary? We have names. So what do? We just call, when we are searching for the mobile number, what do? We enter the key. Most of the time, we are going to use anything as a key if this is the most frequently chased item, right? So you use, when we have to call somebody, what do? We type the number or we type the name, right? So when you have to call somebody using your phone, so what do you write in the contact list? What do you try to write? The name or the number? So most of the time we remember the names, we don't remember the numbers, right? So the names are used as the keys, and we can say the mobile numbers, they are the values for corresponding to that particular key, right? So similar kind of data structure is being created, and that is called as a collection. So and besides that, we say, see, all the elements in the list, they are basically ordered. What is the meaning of ordered? Like when we are accessing, we know all the elements are stored from 0 to n, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. But in case of dictionaries, they are not the ordered collection, they are called as unordered collection. They are not been assigned any indexing where they are stored. So we have to, the only way to access the elements of the dictionary is either through the keys or through the values. So either you should know the key if you want to access the value, or you should know the value if you want to find out the key, right? So if you remember any of these, you can access and you can work with the dictionaries, otherwise you can't work with the dictionaries. So how do we represent these dictionaries when we are doing the programming? So emp, this is the name user on, and when we are writing the next key values, the next key value pair, so this is separated by the comma. So the comma we were using to separate the elements of the list also, but here we are using the key value pairs. The key value pairs, they are basically separated using the columns. So this is how we represent the dictionary, create the dictionaries in the Python. So the keys in the dictionary must be immutable. That is, you can say, we cannot change the keys, right? So if we try to do that, we are going to get an error. So we have different ways to create the dictionary. Creating an empty dictionary like this, dictionary method, if we have already created the dictionary. So how do we do that? So one way to create a dictionary is to start with the empty dictionary like this, capital. So capital is the name of the dictionary. So when we are writing like this, capital is equal to curly brackets, so that means we have created, we have begun to we are moving towards the creation of a dictionary. So this is basically an empty dictionary. And after that, because we have to append data to this particular dictionary, so how do we write? See, this C should be small. Here in this picture, you can see the C is capital. It should be small because the name of the dictionary is small, right? So otherwise you will get an error. So this C has to be small. So what we have passed is, we have passed the key, and after the equal to, we have assigned the value. Similarly, in the capital second case, France is the key and Paris is the value. Then we have another way. So either we create an empty list, and after that you can create the dictionary like this, as we have been creating the list. So books is equal to Richie, colon C, like this we can assign the values to the list. So these are the ways to create the dictionary. Then here you can say we have this D is equal to dictionary. So we are assigning the values to this dictionary, D2 and D3. So here you can say what is 2? 2 is the key and this is the value. 3 is the key and these are the values assigned this particular dictionary. So you can see it's not necessary that the key value pairs, they are to be in the string. So you can create, depending upon your application's requirement, you can create, right? So it is going to print its value, right? So other way to do the task is, I want to find out if this value is greater than 75, just comparison we want to do. So right, so what is this? So that means we are saying, so MKS is the name of the dictionary, 2 is the key. So corresponding to that, what it will look is, so that means for this key it will look at the value. What is the value at this particular position? For the key 2, this is 45. Is it greater than 75? No. Let us say if I make it 85, right? It becomes true, right? Right? So again, it is false, right? So when we are writing this, this of that particular, the comparison is not done with the key, the comparison is done with the value of the key that we are referring to. Then we have other functions. If you want to check whether any key exists in this particular dictionary or not, like where we have used the in operator earlier, did we use anywhere? Can you recall? Anybody? Where we have checking, right? So when we want to check, let us say it is Tani, exist in this particular dictionary or not. How we access the dictionaries in the dictionaries. So here we can check another. Let us here. False. Why it is giving false? Because A is not there in the values. So whenever we are learning, you should develop a habit of giving the wrong values also, and then see what how they respond. So it's not necessary that when you're doing some task and whatever you have read, you always give the correct values and test it. You should also develop a habit of giving the wrong values and then see how that function is behaving, what kind of answer, whether it is giving an error or it is giving something else. So here you can see that it is not giving any kind of error. It is just checking that if A is there in the values or not. A is not there in the values because it is apple, boy, cat, dog, and A is not there in the values, so it is giving us just false. So sometimes we have seen if that thing does not exist, it gives us the error also because it is not appropriate to use that way, right? Then let us create a dictionary from the name value pairs using the dictionary, right, that we have seen. You can also create dictionary initialized from specified set of key values. Like here we are doing. Roll number is equal to 1, name is equal to Scott, and person is equal to 89. Right? So we have different ways to assign the. Yeah, somebody. Yes, Amit?
Can we have the same value for the key and the value of the key?
Yes,
Then,
it
then,
doesn't
then in
matter.
that case, above answer will be to suppose if we have the value of A as A.
Yes, you because it is already there.
Okay.
That is just we are confusing ourselves because program is responding accordingly. Let us do this thing. Let us say if over here I write, right, so here in alpha, yes, because this in operator, this is meant for keys. A is there in the keys, this is correct, right? Now here also if I, it is not going to change the behavior of these functions. It is just a confusion for me that see when I am storing the names in the dictionary, like you are saving the mobile number as well as the name using the same words. So you are not writing your like Amit and then the mobile number, you are writing Amit and Amit. So it basically when you are using the same thing, it is defeating the purpose. Okay.
Thank you.
So that is the only point. Right. So here we see specific key value pairs as keywords as an argument to the dictionary. The student is equal to dictionary roll number 1. So basically as we have seen, so you can. Another way to create a dictionary is, right, student is equal to simply rather than using the dictionary keyword. So here we are using one inbuilt function to create the dictionary. Here we are not using the inbuilt function, we are using the curly braces for defining the dictionary. Right? So this is also correct, this is also correct. This is the only thing that whatever you find suitable, whatever you like to do, you can use any of these ways to create the dictionary. Right? Now, if you don't want to specify, see here what we are doing in both these methods, we are specifying the your keys and value pairs correspondingly. Right? Key value pairs both are specified correspondingly, but if you put the keys separately and values separately. Right? So this is how you want to create the key value pairs or you want to create the dictionary. So what we are doing over here, we are using a zip function within the dictionary, right? Or what do? We are putting together all the keys, employee number, name and department, they are the keys. Then we have another set where we have all the values. So employee number is 1, name is Scott, and department is HR, right? And when we execute this, we can see how they are associated with each other. This is how they are associated with each other, right? So here what we are doing, let us say we add one more parameter, employee name, department, salary, let us say salary, and here we write comma anything, right? So that means here I'm writing, creating a set of keys, here I'm creating a set of values. So I'm just, after that I'm just printing it. So now salary is associated with this particular number. So the corresponding keys and values are associated. Employee number, so you see when you are creating it, this thing has to be taken care of by you only. So the zip is the function that is used to perform this particular mapping. So the correspondence that has been created between this particular set of keys and this particular set of values using the zip function, and then it is passed on to the dictionary for the creation of dictionary, and then it is printed using the, just by writing the EMP, right? So another way, if you want to add more elements, let us say we created an initial dictionary and now I want to add more elements to that dictionary, right? So this way you can do, like we have this dictionary initially created, and now what I'm doing, data 5 is equal to 500. So all the data that you add later on, that is inserted at the end. So data is appended at the end of this particular dictionary, right? So you are just printing this data of 5. So here you have data. Let us say if I do one more, 6, 800, right? So here you see, this is, I have created another key whose value is 800, right? So now see, this was the addition. And similar way, see, when we are adding, we have to add the new keys, right? If we are doing the same task, like if, see, this particular statement can do both the task, the addition as well as the updation. If I want to add, I'll have to write the new key value over here. If I want to update, I will be writing the existing key value over here. Like here you see the case. I have used the existing key value 3 and I want to update the value in this particular dictionary. Like so somebody has changed the mobile number. So what you are doing to do is you are going to find out the name of that user whose mobile number you want to change, and you are going to change the value for that. And if you want to add new mobile number, what do? We just click on the create new contact, and then we assign the new name. So that is a new key and then the corresponding mobile number. So this particular process is addition, like we are adding a new contact or we want to update the existing contact in the dictionary. So this is how it works. Then, so here we have done this. Now this is the updating elements in the dictionary. So what is being done? The key value corresponding to the key value 3, the new value has been updated. Older value was 300, the new value is 1500. Okay, so now how to traverse a dictionary, right? So we have two ways to traverse the dictionary. Either we use only the keys, or we can use both the keys and the values. So how do we traverse the dictionary using the keys? So what we have, let us say this is the dictionary. This is the dictionary that we have created. Then what do we do for key in dictionary 1? So the key is not keyword over here. This is, I can write for A, for B, C, like we have been doing. So just for the sake of understanding, I am writing so that you understand we are trying to access using the keys, right? So here what do I write? Key, colon. So this is just a formatting. So I want to print the value of key. So corresponding to this key, we are printing the value from the dictionary 1. So you know how do we access the elements of the dictionary? We write the name of the dictionary, and within the brackets here you see we write the name of the dictionary, and within the square brackets we name the key. Write the name of the key and we will be able to print the value of that value corresponding to that particular key. So here we are doing the same thing. So for key using, so we are just utilizing the for loop because what is the dictionary? Dictionary is also kind of a sequence from where we are accessing, but the only thing is it is in the key value pairs, so we are accessing it that way. So correspondingly what we are doing, we are writing key and then dictionary one key. So this will give us the value and this will give us the key. So here you do this. Mohan is the key, correspondingly 95 is the value. Similarly, Ram, Sohail, Sangeeta, and corresponding values are being printed over here. So this is how, this is the first way to traverse through the keys in the dictionary. Now, if you want to traverse using both the keys as well as the items, right? So for that, what we are doing, so we are using the for loop only. We are accessing the same dictionary, dictionary one only. So what we are writing, for key comma value in dictionary one items, right? So this is the change that you have to see, right? So now we are writing dictionary dot items, which will help us in accessing all the elements of this. So it will refer to the keys, will refer to the keys, and the value will refer to values. So here you can see keys as it is, and in place of dictionary one in the square bracket keys, we are writing the value, and we are able to get the same results. Okay, so let us write one program. So just write one program to create a phone dictionary for all your friends and print it. So just, I'll not show you the solution, so you do it yourself, right? I'll print, no, write it here. Just write a simple program, this one. Write a program to create a phone dictionary for your friends and print it. Okay, so see the use of dictionary. How do you do that? Take the input from the user. Can you take the input from the user? Take the input from the user and create a dictionary. I'm waiting for your answers. So what, I'll just help you that for taking the input, you have to take two inputs, one is the key and one is the value, and correspondingly you will store in the dictionary, and then you will use the for loop. I have shown you, use with the help of the keys you access that. With the help of the keys you access the elements of the dictionary. Just try out. Write a program to create a phone. You can also ask the user to enter the number of phone, like choice of how many phone numbers you want to insert. Just write in the chat box if you're trying. Anyone trying? Write yes over here. Himanshu, Akanksha, anyone who is trying it out? Akib, Divyansh, Harshita, Himanshu, Jayesh. Okay. Okay. Just try, I'll show you the solution. Just think over it. You should also, explore your mind, how much we are able to get it, no? Just try out whatever is there. I'll show you the solution. I just want you to have a trial, no? How much we are able to get it. Yes, what's the update? Mohit, are you doing it? Mohit Kumar? Who would like to share the screen and show me? Who would like to share the screen and show me? Okay, someone has written. Trying. Okay. Himanshu has given me one solution. Let us check it. Oh, great. Key to number. That's great. Nice solution. I can see the solution has been created very nicely by Himanshu Bhatt. Okay, let us execute this. So everyone, those who are trying, they can look at this solution. I'm sure this is correct. Okay, so here you see n is int, input enter the number of contacts. So we are just asking the user to give us the number, whether you want to enter 2 contacts or 3 contacts or 4 contacts, and after that we just ask the user to give us that, right? Then we have created one dictionary using k and v, d1. Then for I is equal to, for I in range 1 to n, then what we are doing, we are asking the user, we can directly, so there was no need to that, we could create an empty dictionary over here. So in that case we won't need 2 times, we don't have to take the input over here also, here also. So we could take that input within the for loop only, so that would also work. Okay, so let us do that. Enter the number of contacts. Let us say I just want to do, because testing, so enter the key is, let us say Shikha. Then value, let's say this is my random number. Then again, see, it is again asking me, so second contact, let me see will it work or not. So it is asking me, let us say Rajesh, let us enter another random number, and then yes. Okay, so when we are printing d1, here you can see after taking the input, it is being appended over here. So it is updated, and see it is from the k value. So k is equal to 1 to n. This is how it is moving, right? And after that, so what we have is, this is my key, the name, the mobile number, name and the mobile number. Anyone who is not able to understand this can raise a question. Anyone who is not able to understand, or if anybody has created another solution, I would love to execute and see over here. You can copy it in the chat box. Anyone else who has written the solution? Yes, please. Anyone else who has written the solution? Okay, never mind, you can try it out. So these things take time. So similar kind of solution is created over here also, same. So phone, and then for I in range n, simple name, phone number, and then phone number, we are just creating a dictionary of phone numbers and then printing the phone. So just doing the same task, right? So I have not taken the input twice like he had, right? So again I'm taking the keys, oh sorry, this is the number of contacts we want to enter. Then name is Shikha, then mobile number is some random number I'll give. Then I am entering another name in the dictionary, then another number over here, and yes, we are able to do the task. Clear to everyone? This is how we are creating a dictionary of mobile numbers. Right? So you can create a dictionary along with the details of the employees and their salaries or anything that you want to do. Right? So now next we move on to how can we delete the elements from the dictionary. So if we want to create the dictionary, we would also like to delete the elements. So addition, deletion, updation, these are uh, part because we keep on adding the context, we keep on deleting so that we have enough space, right? So if you try to remove the item whose key does not exist, the Python runtime error occurs, right? So how we are doing, we are deleting, so we are using the del keyword which is used to delete the elements of the dictionary. So what we are passing the key, so correspondingly that key and value both will be removed. See, if we are removing the key value, so that there is no point of keeping the key over there, so that will be complete contact will be deleted from the dictionary. So here you see we are doing removing the 2, so the 220 both will be removed. Let us say if I try something else, so here you see 4, and then we just remove it. Right? So whatever you want to delete, you can delete that, right? And let us say if I try to delete a key that does not exist, let us say it is 6. Here you see we are getting an error in this particular line. So we are trying to, if you try to remove the item whose key does not exist, the Python runtime error is occurring. Okay, let us redo it. Oh, 1. Okay, so this is how it works. Then this is the way we want to remove the elements. Then we can also use the pop from the dictionary, right? As we had seen the difference in the list also. So when we are using a pop function in order to remove the elements of the dictionary, so it returns the value that has been removed. So here in this case, delete was not showing any value. Here you can say this is done. So when we execute this is done, we are not getting any output. So when we are using the delete keyword for deleting the any of the key value pairs, it does not return anything, it simply removes. If you want to see, you won't come to know that what has been deleted and what is not, so you have to use just print the dictionary, and then only you'll come to know what is available and what has been removed. But in case of pop, it will show you what has been removed. So here you can see when we write 2, it is showing that the 20 has been removed. Let us say if I write 3, so I'm not using, you just see I'm not using any printing statement over here, right? So when I'm using D1, it prints the complete dictionary, and then only I'm able to see, yes, you can see the key value pairs corresponding to one key has been removed. But in case of pop, what I don't have to do that particular task, it will return that value that has been removed. So it is showing that it has been removed. After that, again D1, this is my choice, I want to see the complete dictionary. Here you can see I can see the complete dictionary. Okay, now checking the existence we have already done. So here you see like A in alpha, this is already done. We can check the existence of the key values, just a revision. Right now, if we want to search for the values, what we do, alpha dot values, right? So this is, we are just printing what are the values that exist in this particular, all the values that exist in this particular dictionary that we can see using the values. And along with that, if I want to check a particular value, like we did, again let us say we say boy in alpha dot values, so it will tell me whether it is true or false. Like here, like we had seen the various functions and methods which were available in the list, similar kind of functions and methods are also available in the dictionary. So like we have len to find out the length of the dictionary, then dictionary function which is used to create the dictionary, then clear which is used to remove the elements from the dictionary, then get, items, keys. So few of them we have already done, like dictionary, keys, values, these functions we have already used. used. Let us see the other functions, what is their role and how can we use them. So dictionary, we know what we have done is how we create the dictionary function. So length is used to see the length of the dictionary. So we want to see the length, len, just pass the name of the dictionary, it will tell us what is the length. Let us say we add one more element over here, e, right? So the length is changed, so the new length is 5. And we know we have already used this dictionary function. So this function is used to create a new dictionary from the iterables and other dictionary mappings. So D1 is the existing dictionary that we have from here. Dictionary alpha is the existing dictionary that we already have. This is the existing dictionary. So when we pass this to this dictionary function, we can create another dictionary that is D1. Right. So can you tell me, just test and tell me whether what D1 and alpha, they are the true copies or they are the referenced copies? How are you going to check it? D1, like we did this in the your list also, we checked that when we were writing D1 is equal to alpha, something like this for the names of the list, so we were not able to create the true copies. We had to use a different functions. So can you tell me whether these are the true copies or not? Right, and just show me with the help of example, and you just write the code in order to show that whether they are true copies or they are not the true copies. Anybody who can tell me? Okay, have you tested the Surbi? Surbi, you can unmute and tell me. You are just guessing, or it's a guess, or you have tested it? Even if it is a guess, you just check it. Make a change in one and see whether, and print the dictionaries.
Actually, I am working on the other window, so it takes time to come
Okay,
to this
okay,
window and
okay,
unmute
it's
it.
fine, it's fine.
Yeah. First is it's a guess, but I think they are linked only, referenced, because we use that dot copy for,
That was there in the list.
yes,
So
so
let
that
us
is why.
see the similar kind of behavior is there in the dictionary or not. Let us confirm our guess. Just check it. Create a very small dictionary, add 2 elements, right, and see whether when you make a change in one, the other one is also changed or not. Yes, Himanshu, you have to say anything. Himanshu Tiwari, Himanshu Bhatt, any one of you. Harshita. Are you people trying to check it out? Okay. A small change just you have to do, and you can test it like this. Before I execute, I want answer from you. Shall I wait? Shall I wait or proceed? I'm not getting any responses. Okay, Salim is saying referenced. Let us see. No, they are the true copies. Here you see, I made a change in the D1, change the value. So this is D1 only, right? So here let us remove this. We know what this was D1, right? And here you see, we are printing D1. In the D1, so A, for the key value A, the value is mango and our rest remains same. But for the alpha, for the key value, it is apple, which was the original dictionary. So this shows, see, if it is referenced, both the dictionaries should have updated the value of for corresponding to the A. Since they are the true copies, they are not updated. D1 has updated its copy. You made notes in your own copy. These notes are not seen by anybody else. This is not a shared copy. This is a photocopy that you have. Okay, so this is how we can test whether whenever we are doing something, whether if some question comes to our mind because we are doing something like that we did in the list, so you just test it. So we can see it is a true copy, it is not a referenced copy. Fine. Okay, now let us move to the see the other method, that is get method. It is used to access the value of the key of the dictionary. So we had seen we can just use the index values, sorry, the key values in the square bracket that is also provided is the get method. So alpha dot get b, so corresponding, so what is b? This is the key value and corresponding to that it is printing the value. So corresponding to key b, it is giving us the value of that particular that is there in this particular dictionary. So this is another method, whether if you want to work with get or you want just by using the square brackets like this, you can do anything. Then we have a clear function that removes all the items from the dictionary and dictionary becomes empty, right? So we had a dictionary. So here you can see my dictionary. When we print in the beginning, I can write it before this also. Here you see printing before clear and printing after clear, right? So when we first print the dictionary, there was data in the dictionary, right? All context, all the details were there. Then we called the clear function. It removed all the elements and it gave us the empty dictionary. Just remember, it is not removing the dictionary structure. My dictionary exists, but it is an empty dictionary. There is no data in this particular dictionary. Then delete is used to delete an item from the dictionary. You want to delete an item. If the key is specified, if no argument, it deletes all the items from the dictionary. Again, it becomes empty, right? So, wait. Del, what was the name of the dictionary? Why it is not taking? Okay, because it is not, it is also removing the structure of this particular dictionary. So it is defined, let us say before del, let us say print this dictionary over here. Okay, wait a minute. Is it showing anything? My dictionary, okay, because we have removed everything, it is not reading it here. Okay, let us read this dictionary again. Right, now let us see. Right, so what is the difference it is showing? You can see the difference. Using the clear, we are able to, we are not deleting the structure of the dictionary, but using the delete, we are also deleting the structure of the dictionary, right? So now this my dict, it is undefined because we have used this method over here. Earlier it was there. So this is the difference between the clear and the del. When we use the clear, the structure exists, but all the data has been available, the complete API that is beyond reach. So we cannot cover each and everything. But the important things that you need to learn to begin to start doing your programming, and from that perspective, we have covered maximum topics till now, right? So Now we are going to move on to the various packages which are available for the analysis of the data, right? So NumPy is one package which is, you can say it is a core library for the scientific and numerical computing in the Python, and it provides us high performance multi-dimensional array objects, and it also provides us tools for working with these arrays. Why do we prefer the NumPy as compared to the list? So see, we have two ways to work for creating the, either we can work with the list that we have already discussed, or we have the arrays which are part of the NumPy, right? Part of the NumPy package. So we use the arrays because they are fast, right? Fast processing they provide, they are more convenient as compared to the list, and they take less memory as compared to the list. So that's why this NumPy package is very popular for doing the numerical computation, NumPy, numerical computations in Python. So all the numerical computing in Python, that all the libraries which are required, so the complete API is part of the NumPy package. So how do we use it? We write import, right, NumPy as NP. So we just, NumPy is the name of the package, and NP is the alias which we are creating just to refer to this particular library, right? So everywhere we are not going to write NumPy. So rather than, you can say we are just created a shortcut for that. So the short name for that is NP, and most of the time NP is, you can say, more or less everybody is using the NP only. Everywhere you will see the code for this. So if we import the NumPy package as NP only, right? So but NP is not a keyword, right? So this is just an alias that has been created, so in order to refer to this particular package. So when we write import NumPy as NP, so this package is imported into our environment, right? All the libraries, and whenever we are going to access anything, it is not going to give us any kind of error. So let us say we create an array, A is equal to a NumPy array. So this is how we create an array of using the NumPy. So NP is the name of the alias that we have used, dot array. So this array is a function. As I told you, see, this has a square brackets. So if you want to be a programmer, you should know the basic things. If some name is written, along with that, it has certain brackets, this round brackets, right? So round bracket means it is a function. It may be a user-defined function, or it may be a inbuilt function, but this is a function for sure. So this is how we create a, so now you want to print what is there in the array. So index position again. So the sequential data structure, we say everything is stored in the form of a sequence as we had in the list. So we just see I told you, so because we are using the collab, so it takes a bit more time in the beginning, and later on, okay, we have not executed this, so that's why it is not able to recognize this. Okay, we have not executed, see this thing, see, I had not executed this. That's why the statement I gave that if you want this to be recognized, this must be imported in. So when we are just by writing it, it won't be imported. You will have to execute this statement. Only then this NumPy will be there available in our environment for working. Now I execute this, it will recognize what is NP, right? It is able to recognize. Since I have executed this, now A is available, the environment in this particular environment. So now I'll not get any errors. So here I'm accessing the first element of this particular array. Print a dot shape. Shape is a function, right? So shape is basically an object which help us to understand what is the shape. So what is the shape over here we are saying? Can anybody tell me what we are referring to as a shape? What do you mean by a shape? Anybody? Yes. See, basically when we are working with the NumPy arrays, so what is an array? One dimensional. So an array is one dimension, we say one dimension. Then when we talk of the matrix, we say two-dimensional data, right? So one dimension is x-axis, another dimension is y-axis, when the data is stored in the form of rows and columns. Like what is the, let us say again, I'll show you. So when you see, this is a grid, right? So this is a grid, and you can say this is a matrix of rows and columns. If I have data, it may be in one row, so this is one dimensional data. So that may be there in the you can say one row or one column like this. So that is called as one dimensional data. If we have more than one dimension, so data is stored row wise as well as column wise, then it is called as a matrix, right? So when we say that what is the size of this, so here when we are passing these parameters, when we see the coordinates, so the first position indicates the row and second position indicates the column. So here you see when we are writing this, right? So this is the dimension it has shown. It has shown 3 rows, right? And no columns, right? So here you see when we write like this, an array, I have now here it was an array, right? Only one dimension. Now I have created a matrix. So how it will be printed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So this is, and now what is the shape for this? 3 rows and 2 columns. 3 rows and 2 columns. Is it clear? So here you can say A dot shape is 3 by 2. That means 3 rows and 2 columns. Right? And dimensions, we have only 2 dimensions. One is x-axis and another is only rows and columns. It is not multi-dimensional data, so that's why we are getting only 2 dimensions. Now if you want to create, see, when you are working with C, we are simply writing A dot n dimension, A dot shape. So A is the name of the array, so we are referring to the array, and we are just finding out the complete information about this array. Then np dot zeros. Now let us say you want to see for your scientific computing, for doing any kind of task, you want to create an empty matrix and with all the initial values to be zeros. So in that case, what we are writing is np, this is the numpy alias, dot zeros 3, 4. So that means we have created, so here you can also write it like this. So we have created a matrix of 3 by 4 dimensions, 3 rows and 4 columns, all with initial zeros, right? And let us say we change it. Let's say it is 2, it is 5. You can create anyway, whatever is the requirement. So now what we have 5 rows and 2 columns over here. Then if you want to reshape it, let us say you want to reshape this, you created it and after that you just want to change it. So what we are doing is we are calling a function named as reshape. So it was 5 by 2, let us say it is 2 by 5 I want to do. Sorry, we have not stored. So initial was 3 by 2, 2 by 3. What was the initial dimensions? Wait, we haven't executed. Okay, just wait. Now I need to execute this. Just see, if you are doing some task on the initial thing which is already there, you need to execute this. So we needed to execute only this part where we required the creation of the matrix. This I did optionally, right? But this was not mandatory to do this particular task. Okay, so we can also reshape the initial array that we had created or the initial matrix that we had created. Okay, so now if you want to from the matrix, or you can say from the array, if you want to find out the minimum value, maximum value, or you want to find the sum of all the numbers, that you can do. So the similar kind of task we did in the list also, the same thing we can do over here in the array also. So here you just see minimum, the first function is max, a dot max, and we have the brackets, so that indicates this is a function. So maximum value is 3, minimum value is 1, and the sum of all these values is 6. Now the same thing we can find out using in the matrix also. So we created a matrix. What is this matrix? We just, let us say, print and then see, so that you are able to understand what are the answers. So here you see Here you see, this was the matrix that was been created, right? And when we say, see, all the data we know, all the dimensions we talk about, that the 0 axis and the 1 axis. So the 0 axis over here, it refers to the rows, right? So here the data has been added, like here 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, and 5 plus 3 is 8 when we are writing axis is equal to 0, right? And when we do axis is equal to, so we can print both together also, just for the sake of understanding and clarity. I am just making it a comment so that it is very much visible to you. After that, you see what we have done. So here 1 plus this is 1 plus 2 plus 3 is equal to 6, and 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 5 is 12, right? So we are able to get this record. So x-axis and y-axis, so it is referring to the rows and the columns, right? So along with that, we have various other mathematical functions like finding the square root. So what we are doing is np dot square root of a, all the elements which are there in the a. So this is a matrix that we have. So it is finding out the square root of every number. So whatever, like 1, 2, 3, the square root of each of these, we are able to find. Now, since when we are doing the scientific computing, we are usually finding out the minimum, maximum values, then standard deviation. So here we see np dot standard deviation of a. So standard deviation, we are able to find that every element